and Andy's talking to her, and she's telling Andy not to be silly. Everybody wants to be us.
Yes, I literally have that written down in my notes. Wait, what does it say after the quote in your notes? I'm curious if we wrote the same thing
down. Like my note on it, or like
yeah,
her next
yeah.
line?
No, what's your note on it?
Oh, everybody wants to be queer. Like,
yeah, I literally just said a queer mood. Like, everybody wants to be us. Miranda Priestley, like, embodying a queer mood. That's all. That's it. That's it. And like, what a way to kind of like end their whole journey, right?
Yes.
I love it so much. I will never forgive Andy for getting out of that car, but I do love that. I love that scene so much.
Oh, I'm so upset that she got out of the car and like didn't work through it. And I get like they're trying to do the whole like she's on this path to her discovery and this like helped her get there. Whatever. Like, okay, you're gonna go right for the New York Mirror, and I'm using air quotes right now, the New York Mirror, and instead of being a part of Runway.
Yeah. It's, you know why okay. Maybe this is a good opportunity to segue over to Andy. And we'll start with the end of Andy's story and work our way back, because I have to comment on, I feel like for 2006, I feel like I remember thinking that Devil Wears Prada was like an empowering movie for women, right? And watching it this time around, I was just like, womp womp, like, what is this ending? What is happening? I'm like, you have put so much time, so much energy, so much work into, like, the thing that I'm still frustrated about is that everybody is acting like this is just selling out and whatever. And I'm like, this is still a exceptional career move. Like, even for what she wants to do, you are just not only throwing that away and throwing away all that work that you did, but you are also jumping back to the absolute garbage dumpster fire boyfriend who supported you 0% and gave you nothing but shit this entire time.
Yes, and that part.
And look at this fucking office that you walk into. I'm like, come on, they couldn't even like pretend that you got like a real job. They're just like, and now you work at rinky dink dusty like place with this dude and like his tiny little like 1935 desk. And I was like, I hate it so much. And I hate that the boyfriend doesn't even like, doesn't apologize. Like, Nate doesn't do anything other than be like, I can make you grilled cheese again, baby. And I'm like, I fucking hate you so much. Oh, you mean that burnt
piece of bread? That was
bad? I hate you so much right now. I cannot even put it into words.
It was very much like, I told you so.
Yes.
That vibe from him.
Yes. And it was very much like, you can only be the person that like I want you to be, you know? Like, I don't know.
Never mind you growing and exploring and accepting your true identity, or, you know, you need to fit in this box right here. Yeah. And that annoys me because I did that for most of my life with my ex. So like, no.
It's also, it's funny for me because if we're going to compare this to another like classic Anne Hathaway makeover movie, right? Like Princess Diaries, this feels like, when I rewatched it, I was like, wow, is this like the anti-Princess Diaries? Because I feel like Princess Diaries was this whole thing where it's like, hey, the makeover doesn't actually change the person that you are. It is just the exterior packaging. And guess what? That's not the most important part of someone. And I feel like this movie, like, hard turns in the opposite direction and is like, wow, wearing nice clothes suddenly makes you vapid and uninteresting and everybody's gonna hate you now for good reasons. And you're like, is that the message we want to send young women? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not the best. Maybe we could have sent a message of like, hey, maybe she doesn't really still care about fashion, or maybe she decided, actually, I've learned a lot about fashion and have new interests and new broadened horizons, and also am still like a fucking kick-ass journalist and like career driven person with goals. No, okay, fine, go back to the grilled cheese, I guess.